And hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Command Ideas. Okay, so Mind Reapers and I have been working on um, a mod to Vanilla Survival, and we're calling it HCZ, I believe. Basically, it's going to be a kind of like MineZ if you've seen my channel at all, with the zombies and the pigmen and the giants. We're going to be recording that and uploading that, and Mr. Guy over here will have his own video explaining what is going on. This purpose of this video is just to kind of say, hey, this is how everything works. I designed it myself, I guess you could say. And yeah, so we're gonna just hop right in here. First thing we did was to make the world pretty much only zombies and pigmen. So to do that, we had to basically just kill off everything that spawns normally and spawn a zombie on top. So for example, with creepers, because these are things everybody likes, basically what we're doing is whenever there's a creeper in the world, we execute, and then we summon a zombie that just spawns right where he is, and the creeper then gets teleported to the void. So right here, negative 250, that ensures he's dead. He doesn't drop any items or XP for some reason. So you won't be seeing anything else except for spiders and blazes. Did I forget anything else? Spiders and blazes?
I think that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, because we need blaze rods to find the end, so we were like, okay, you know what, fine.
And this is basically how it looks. Man.
Oh yeah, cool. There you go. So whenever you spawn, that's a good idea. Whenever you spawn a damn mob, stuff spawns like that, and they run around. Okay, don't blow those up, please.
Yeah, let's kill switch.
Okay, we have the kill switch. Believe me, it's useful. We have pigmen now, so let's actually just go outside and do this. So when you hit a pigman, he spawns 5 zombies and kind of gives a little explosion here. So just like in regular MineZ, we have our 4, well, these ones spawn more, but 5 zombies spawn, and this one actually gives them knockback instead of just spawning them on the place, as well as doing damage to the area around. Okay, so that's kind of the demo. I like doing it because it's hilarious. But, yeah, let's explain how this works. So, over here, we have basically the heart of the pigman commands. Anything in red is pigman commands. So what I do is I have a pigman. I'm not going to hit it. But basically when I do hit it, like if I go like that on the pigman, it is testing to see if the pigman has taken any damage. So we have a scoreboard called health, and basically when the pigman matches the NBT data, like health 16, health 13, etc., etc., it will give itself a health score of 1 or a life score of 1, and any score with a life score of 1 will it sets its score to explosion of 1, and with the score of explosion 1, it comes over here, and then it will basically summon a creeper. It will summon the particles, and it will kill the pigman. So the creeper explodes. This is the zombie summoning thing. Basically, the zombies that summon have resistance, so they don't die, and so they get summoned. Creeper spawns, pigman dies, and particle happens. All at that one pigman that had a little bit of damage on it. This pigman gets a little bit of speed, as well as we change his attributes. So he gets an anger of 1, which means he automatically aggroes on the player, and he has a generic attack damage that is a little higher than what the normal pigman is. We had a couple problems while testing this guy, that sometimes a pigman wouldn't explode because I'm using a comparator like a dumbass, but basically what we did is we had to have a second kill switch that just like killed off any pigman with an explosion score of 1. Because, like I said, sometimes it would just summon a million zombies at those players because the comparator wouldn't refresh. So we just have a secondary effect here that just says, okay, if you're alive at this point, you should be dead, so die. Giants takes up anything that has black wool on it, which is a lot. So I will give you a quick demo of what the giant can do. Alright, so what is going to happen here is we have a daylight sensor testing for nighttime. What will happen once nighttime comes around? Let's just go 1800. Oh, 1800 is not a... Okay.
He's so fast.
There we go. So, basically, as you guys saw, the giant spawned. Oh, there he goes. There's one of his attacks. You're dead.
Oh my!
How are you alive?
I have half a heart.
Well, you're dead now. So you guys saw all 3 of his attacks. Or, how many attacks? I guess he has 2 attacks. So, this giant here will spawn, in our case, once it's nighttime. So, he won't spawn during the day, obviously, and every time the day comes around, he will get teleported to the void. That just eliminates the amount of, that controls the amount of giants we have in one world. Basically, as you guys saw, his attacks were his stomp, right? Which is, he kicked Mine Reapers really, really far. He has his, no wait, that's his kick. His stomp is when he jumps up really high and then hits the ground and does a bunch of area damage. And then every time you hit him, he has a chance of spawning either a pigman or a zombie. There you go. So a pigman or a zombie spawn that time, zombie spawn this time thing. So let's go quickly look at the commands on how this works. So this is the spawning in the giant mechanic. There's our daylight sensor. It's just kind of connected to the world. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but it's connected to the light. When it becomes nighttime, this will activate because it's inverted. It will summon the giant basically and spread him to any player that is in game mode 0 at random. And then as you guys saw, we had a little text thing that pop up. It says Mine Reapers the giant has spawned near me. So we just have that to indicate to all the players where roughly the giant is. It will be spread like 50 blocks within that player. Because if we're all spread apart, nobody will know where the giant is ever. So we just decided, hey, let's spawn it close to a player, yada yada. A normal giant literally has no AI. It's just, wow, we made this perfect height. It literally has no AI no matter what you do. Okay, well this giant is an exception, but no matter what you do, the giant will do nothing. It won't move. It'll just stand there. So what I had to do is I had to actually make a make an AI for the giant. And what I have here is a regular zombie with a custom name. He has a button in his head so that he can't burn, and he has this water bottle which basically has knockback and sharpness to give that kind of kick effect. I didn't know what else I could use as an item that was like less noticeable than the bottles, so that's kind of what I tried to do. It has resistance, infinity, so that you can't actually kill the zombie. You want to be hitting the giant. And so, you know, it moves around, and yeah, so the way we have them connecting to each other, I think it's over here. Yep. So we basically TP any giant, which name is AI, and we TP it to a entity named giant. It looks like he's walking, which is kind of a bonus, and yeah, I kind of like the way it turned out. It kind of works pretty much as AI should. Okay, so let's talk about this stomp. So the stomp, or when you hit a giant, it basically looks into one of these 2 tags, right? If you have a hurt time of 1, then it will add 1 to the giant's hurt score. So when the giant has the hurt score of 1, it will execute at any giant with a hurt score to summon some falling sand at any entity named spawn. So this is kind of like my random number generator here that I've developed. I think I got this off of Dragnaz, so just search up random number generator and you can find it. But basically, they're all named spawn, so at our name equals spawn, it will pick one of these, and when that happens, it will drop a falling sand that doesn't drop anything, and it's totally resettable. All these have, like, you know, this one says nothing, this one says it will summon a zombie at a giant, this one will summon zombie, pigman, alright, same thing, and zombie and stomp. Okay, that one, I took that out. But the zombie and stomp, so this is a whole new mechanic. So when he jumps up, when he does this thing where he goes up and then he comes down and he does kind of like, you know, those particle effects. This is how it's done. So some falling sand will pop up here. It'll go like this, pop through, go through this whole circuit, and then this will reset. So the first thing it does is it sets any giant, their ground score to 1. So when they have a ground score of 1, they will be teleported a little bit into the air. And as they go up into the air, it's testing to see if they're on the ground, and because they're not, it's adding 1 to that ground score. So from here, as they're in the air, the ground score is increasing, and once it hits, let's say, I think it's 50, it will detect that, and then set its ground score to 0, which will set its motion to 0, which will just drop it back to the ground. So during all that, that's the motion I was talking about, so 3D, that's just what pushes it up. We basically have some cool particle effects that happen around it, and it goes up, does some more particle effects, does some sounds, and we also have the damage. So the damage, basically, if you're really close to it, like in a radius of 5, let's say, so if this is your block, if you're within this radius, it does, let's say, 6 hearts of pure damage, right? Because it uses the particle effect, or the effect. And then, if you go away from it, it'll do less damage till you're about 15 blocks away, and then you're good. That's it, and it doesn't do damage to you anymore. 18, 1, 2, 3.
Should happen pretty soon.
There we go. So you saw the giant spawn. It happened near Mine Reapers, and so watch what happens when he hits the giant. Here he goes, and as you can see, shit just hit the fan, and all of these falling sand kind of fell onto the pressure plates. So one of the problems we were having is that, as you can see right there, it hit the stomp twice, which would cause the giant to go up twice as high as it would normally supposed to, totally killing the giant when it fell. What we did is kind of I developed this weird looking thing that, whoa!
Oh, he fell into the lava pool.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. So basically this mechanism here prevented him from... So this mechanism basically prevented more than one signal from going in at once. So he's dead now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that way he couldn't stomp infinite amounts of time. Over here, our last thing for the giant is basically, because we only have one, we just test for a giant in the world, and then once there's no more giant in the world, it will basically kill a zombie that is named giant. Right, so that way the invincible zombie doesn't last forever. So in MineZ, we have, if you're sprinting or if you're running or shooting a bow, you make quote-unquote noise, right? So this noise attracts zombies and they'll go to you instead of going to, let's say, a player just standing around. So I tried my best to do this, and I have this little system here. So let's go scoreboard, objectives, set display sidebar, movement. As you can see, Mine Reapers is moving around, and as he moves around, his score goes up until it resets at this point here. What is happening is basically we have the stat dot walk 1 centimeter. So every time he moves a centimeter, he gets 1 more in his movement score. When he is in between a certain amount, so I think I actually have these signs, I can use them. When he's between, I think, 0 and 80, he is considered sneaking, and what that will do is that will... put him on the zombie team. Yes, the zombie team, and will decrease the finding distance of the zombies around him. What I have set up is 2 teams. I have the player, so this is player, and this is zombie. This is our zombie, and he is on the zombie team. As a player, you are always on the zombie team. So if you're on the same team as another mob, so we are on the same team right now. If you have the same team, they will not hit each other. So the 2 sponges will never attack each other. But as soon as I, let's say, shoot my bow, I become on the red team, or in this case, the player's team, right? So then a zombie will say, hey, you're an enemy, let me go attack you. Now shoot at me.
At you?
Yeah. Oh, well, there we go. So as you can see, he wasn't attracted to Mine Reapers before, but he is now because of Mine Reaper shot the bow. You're in game mode 1, so he's not going to do anything to you. Say my zombie's following range is 5, like it's up to here. When I'm walking, it might go up to here, and when I'm sprinting, the following range would be, let's say, to here. So that would be make him better at seeing people. These commands are all the grenade commands. So if you guys want to know what those do, I already have a video on them. But let's just do a demo in case you haven't seen it. So when I throw a grenade, it blows up and kills stuff, which is so much fun to use. But basically, as you can see, we have a giant crater with just the ender pearl. So if you guys want to know how this works, check out the video. I'm not about to explain it. It's really confusing and took me 10 minutes last time. So the zombies are basically the simplest things in this whole command setup. And all I did was give them speed. That's literally it. So any zombie that isn't named Giant, which means the artificial intelligence for the Giant, gets speed 10, or speed 3 for 10 seconds. And that just refreshes every time the hopper clock pops up. And yeah, all these are startup commands, which just give the kit for the game. Should we do it?
If you want.
All right, we're doing it. So there's a gold button up top, and when you hit it, this happens. Nope, not that. That happens. Okay, so we all got spreaded. We all got spreaded? Is that a thing? We were all spread to different parts of the world, and we were all given a small kit along with a book on how to play, which is a lot of pages. But nonetheless, you get spawned into the world, the time gets set today, all the scoreboards get added in, and you can start your world. So guys, if you want to try out this for yourself, we will be leaving a download in the description, and you can try it with friends and stuff. You just really need to put the schematic in your world, and yeah, that's about it. You hit the gold button and everything should be set up. If you guys have any problems, feel free to drop a comment, let me know. Any questions regarding the commands, let me know as well. Alright, so that's about it for HCZ, and we will see you once this series has started.